The much debated topic, protectionism. Protectionism involves levying of tariffs and non-tariff barriers against imports to a country. Now, these barriers can be the taxes imposed by a government, subsidies, or even import quotas. The intention of this is to protect domestic industries against competition. Why do you pay twice as much on imported tiles than what they cost on the world market? Why does a car sold locally cost a double or even a triple than what it costs in the international market? The answer is import tariffs. They increase the price for consumers and usually lead to lower quality products. In Sri Lanka, some industries have remained protected for years. A prime example are the industries of onions and potatoes, which have been protected since the 1980s. Building materials such as tiles, cement, concrete are also protected, leading to some of the highest prices in all of Asia. Although Sri Lanka underwent some liberalization in 1977, gradually many of these measures have reappeared. Protectionist pressures began to build in 2001. However, and starting from November 2004, the relatively open trade policies of the past were reversed. By 2009, Sri Lanka's tariff policies were just as protected as they have been 20 years ago, especially with the emergence of a variety of para-tariffs. Now, why is protectionism a problem? First and foremost, it's detrimental to local consumers. This is due to the economic theory of resource misallocation. A country should attempt to produce goods and services that they have a relative productivity advantage in producing. When a country does not abide by this, scarce resources are allocated to relatively unproductive sectors. Like when Sri Lanka imposed import restrictions on turmeric and started local production. These import controls caused turmeric prices to rise from 80 rupees per kilo to over 300 rupees. This particularly affected low-income earners. Now, as local produce has no incentive to be innovative or efficient, this can lead to lower quality products being sold in the local market compared to the free international market. Protectionism may have a negative impact on local businesses as well. A protected raw material increases the cost of all value-added industries that use this protected item as an input. And this will make the products more expensive than the imports in the local market, making them non-export competitive. In Sri Lanka, almost 50% of imported goods are these intermediate goods that will be value-added and consumed domestically or re-exported. And protected building materials will raise the cost of hotels, office buildings, and even factories, making tourism or export businesses in general uncompetitive. When protected taxes are imposed on products like steel, that may promote bad construction and building collapses because the builders are trying to maintain the competitive prices by scrimping on concrete rebars. Protectionism in retaliation is also a possibility. This happens when foreign countries or trading blocs impose protectionist measures on domestically produced goods in order to encourage domestic governments to reduce their barriers. A notable example for this in the recent years was the China-US trade war. China imposed targeted agricultural tariffs in response to former President Trump's tariffs on manufactured goods. As a result, both countries' companies and eventually consumers had to absorb this higher cost. While Sri Lanka has not been involved in a trade war yet, Sri Lankan government should be wary of provoking our main trading partners with tariffs. Finally, protectionism may also lead to a decline in long-term economic growth. The tariff and non-tariff barrier system is non-transparent, complex, and unpredictable, despite recent simplifications and promises to simplify more in the future. This combination is likely to deter long-term business commitments, both in production and trade. This may also deter foreign direct investment at a time when it's sorely needed. Additionally, the system seems highly discretionary. Who selects which products to tax and at what rate? People and groups with lobbying skills and access to bureaucrats, politicians, and other knowledgeable insiders benefit disproportionately in such systems. Ironically, this may hinder domestic startups, further damaging the consumers. Follow us on all our social media pages to stay updated on more content like this.